Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be walking you through our interactive neural machine translation interface that you'll be using to conduct our usability study. To first start out, when you first log into the website, this is the interface that you're going to see. We're going to be spending all of our time for the study in the keystroke interface, so just click on that button immediately. From there, you'll be prompted to log in. We've provided you with some login information, so if you just enter in your username and password, you'll be able to gain access to the website. Once you're in the website, you'll be presented with the main user dashboard. The main user dashboard has two parts. A sidebar that is collapsible, that provides navigation links to various portions of the website, including the dashboard and the translation library, and also the ability to log out, and the main dashboard. The main dashboard includes a welcome message, a copy of this instruction video, and then a series of useful buttons at the bottom. The main purpose of this application is to provide an interface that helps people translate stories into other languages. As a result of that, however, we have a couple of unique controls that we have designed around. Because of that, we have an instructions tab at the left. If you click on this instructions tab, then you can see the default controls and the buttons that we've selected and what these buttons do. However, even though we have a default control scheme, which I'll explain a little bit later, it is noteworthy and important to know that we have also designed the ability to completely customize the layouts. If you go to keyboard control settings, you'll be able to create an entirely new keyboard control scheme by filling out the parameters and which buttons you'd like to perform which actions. I've already created a separate control scheme called the second layout set, and I can actually view the instructions for this second layout set and what I've chosen to have it operate. So now let's go ahead and get started with the translation. If you have multiple control schemes and you haven't selected one before clicking on getting started, you'll be prompted to select a control scheme to complete your study for the day. Let's just go ahead with the standard default layout for now. So once you're able to navigate to the corpus library, you'll see a series of different stories that you have to navigate, or that you have to translate, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and walk through that translation process. I would like to translate the story Go-Go baseline, so I'll click on this translate button. From here, I'll be navigated to an interface where on the left, there is the original source text, and on the right, I can write my interpretation of the source text. So if I'd like to navigate to the next piece of source text, I can click on it, or I can press page down, in which case I'll automatically be taken to this next part or next translation segment. Once I'm done translating, I can press the submit button, or I can press the end tab, the end key. From there, I'll see a summary of my total translation work. If I'm not happy with it, then I can go back and add something else. And if I am happy with how my translation turned out, then I can go to Other Corpus and go back to the main translation corpus library, and my translation will automatically be submitted. So the purpose of this study is to compare different mechanisms of translation that we've designed. So there are a couple of different translation interfaces that you'll see. What we just showed you was the baseline translation where we don't provide any assistance whatsoever. Next, I'm going to show you post-editing. Post-editing is a translation interface where the content on the left will automatically be translated by our machine upon going into the box. If you can see, this is already translated before I'm able to type anything. And then I can go back and change the translation however I see fit. So that is what post-editing is. Let me go ahead and submit this. And now we also have what we like to call interactive machine translation. This is a translation that you perform actively with computer assistance, and this has a rather unique control scheme that's completely customizable. Let me go ahead and walk you through that now. With interactive machine translation, when you click, you'll see a series of different potential options that this translation can be. So for example, this could be where to, it could be where is. I can select what I think it is, and then work with the computer to actually generate the appropriate translation. For the default control scheme, you use the up and down arrows to select between the different potential options. You can press Enter to select the option and write it in the box, or you can press Tab to select only one word from the option list. Again, page up and page down are still navigating, and you also can feel free to type anything. Again, I'm going to press N to submit this. So as you can see, this has been our translation interface. Everything is fully customizable, and you can customize this via the keyboard settings. And if not, feel free to use our default control schemes. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.